Welcome to What's Happening, where we focus on events happening right here in the City of Lynn. Here with me today from the Lynn Museum Historical Society, we have Nicole Bro. Nicole, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So the month of May is a huge part of the year for the Lynn Museum. May is for membership, is what you guys got for your tagline. You've got a plethora of events that are coming up to generate some interest. We're here to talk about those, but before we do, let's talk about you and your involvement with the museum.
Sure. I joined the museum in January as the Educational Programs Associate. And what that really means is I work with both the general public and school-aged audiences, going anywhere from down to toddlers and story time, all the way up to working with adults who are taking classes or coming for talks or taking tours with us. So basically what I do is I develop different educational programming for school groups and general tours for the public, and also do some research for our staff so that way they have materials to go out and do the tours of their own.
Okay, so we're here to talk about the month of May being for membership at the Lynn Museum. Why is membership so important?
Members are the lifeblood of any museum. It is very important to have a constituency of supporters, not only for the monetary purposes of having members, but more so to have that community feel and family of the people who both cherish your collection and come back to do your programs. And also it's important to bring in new people as well to give them an awareness of what we have going on in the city.
Now, when it comes to the museum, what type of value does it bring to a community like Lynn?
Immense value. Arts and culture are one of the most important things that any city can have. And we basically strive to create a sense of community within the museum and make sure that everyone knows that this is a place not only where they can come and look at artifacts or art or come to learn, but more so a place that they can come and spend time and enjoy other people from within the City of Lynn as well.
I think the museum has been well received by a lot of the people here in Lynn. It's one of those organizations that I pick to, send my $35 to every year. Hey, I'm a fan of history, and even if you pop in from once a year, I actually do some of my Christmas shopping there, like the Christmas stocking stuffers, the cups, the little bracelets. I get one of those every year because they get faded. It's an outstanding organization, and there's a lot to offer for somebody who takes pride in their city. Now, May is a big month for membership for you. So what are you guys planning in regards to actually generating an interest?
Sure. We have so many absolutely wonderful members, and one of my primary goals in planning this month's activities was to try and draw in some people who have maybe visited once before, maybe like yourself have gone shopping in the store, or maybe just didn't even know that we had a museum. So most of the programming thought process went into how can we draw people in to know really what the Lynn Museum is all about. So I have created a series of workshops, activities, and tours to give people a chance to come in and see really what's going on at the Lynn Museum.
You know what's cool about it is that they get to actually participate in it, and it's not just like a regular tour. All right, here's this painting from such and such a person nobody knows about or will remember.
Oh, absolutely.
This is something that they're absorbing through activity.
We had a tremendous walking tour that we did on Saturday where we had literally people brought their cameras and we went out onto the streets and we walked around and we looked at the art and architecture of downtown Lynn. And it was a great dialogue, and I was learning from the people on the tour who maybe had an experience in one of those places. People took gorgeous photographs and they shared it with us. So it's really not just your average docent tour where you go and you're lectured to for 45 minutes. We really aim at having everything to be interactive, so you're not just feeling like you're in school, you're actually having a good time while we do it.
Yeah. Now this event, these events that you have coming up are to generate an interest. Are there any others that stand out among the rest? For those at home who are watching, could get a real good taste about what benefits there are to be a member.
Absolutely. We are going to be hosting 2 tours we'll call Connecting with the Collection. Now this is geared toward our new members. We'd like to say anyone who had an interest in, say, the museum but don't really know what we have, we invite you to come down. Members, we invite you to bring your friends who are not members, and members who have been away from the museum for a while, we invite you to come down and reconnect with our collection. And what we do is we pick between 6 and 8 different items from the collection, and we really take you around and we talk about how they're connected to each other, how they're connected to the city. And like with our walking tour, we really like that dialogue. I had someone come last week who told me he actually used the machine that one of our we have in our shoe exhibit right now when he was a young boy working in a shoe factory. Yeah, it's really, really tremendous. And we'd love to have people come down, share their stories, come on our tours. And so that's really the goal of that.
So the tours, you guys can actually find some more information online at www.lynnmuseum.org. You can go down there too. It's 590 Washington Street.
That's correct.
The hours of operation?
We are open Wednesday from 12 to 4, Thursday from 12 to 7, Friday from 12 to 4, and Saturday from 10 to 3.
All right. So we're here today to talk about the month of May at the Lynn Museum and Historical Society. They are really pushing for members. For those at home, I mean, what type of Lynner would be able to benefit from a membership at the museum?
I would say absolutely anyone, because if you look at our programming, it goes all the way down from our Saturday activities where you would be free to come in every time with your kids. You could come in and do 100 activities a year and it would always be free to you. It's something to do with your family on a Saturday. All the way up to some of our educated or more older members who are looking for something a little bit more than making a mosaic fluff tile with me. But we have really great programs like the Mesa Talks, which are hosted once a month where we invite a scholar to come in and speak to people. In May, we're actually doing a genealogy workshop. Myself and one of the other staff members, Rachel Guadagni, we're going to run a little workshop about how do you do your family's genealogy.
Yeah, that stuck out to me. What was the motivation behind that?
Rachel actually did a great presentation at a conference that I heard. She was trying to debunk family myths. And I thought to myself, that would be really great if you could do that for our members. So she's going to talk about how she went and looked up some of these crazy family stories that they couldn't possibly be true, and how she actually found evidence for some of them. And I'm going to talk about how you think you know who you are until you do some of this digging, and how do you deal with some of those things that you find that maybe are less pleasant than you'd like, or really change your idea of who you are, like finding out you have family in the South when you think that you have this identity of a northern immigrant.
Right. Right.
So that's what we're going to talk about, and everyone's going to start their family tree, and we're going to give some tips, tricks, and some sources for them to go out and do some work on their own.
Outstanding. It sounds like you guys have it all planned out. It's going to be a huge success. May is for membership down at the Lynn Historical Museum in Lynn Museum Historical Society. Nicole Bro, thanks for coming on to the program. That's it for what's happening from the studio here at LynnCAM TV. I'm Sean Donahue, wishing you all the best.